Depending on when you bought your Solar Smart operator, you can have either one of these remotes. The remote here on the right has been the remote we've been using since 2011 and offering through 2016. The remote here on the left is the one we just launched in November of 2016 and will be using moving forward. There are still some of these earlier version available depending on where and when you bought your Solar Smart operator. The one on the left here is literally a smaller version of the one on the right, but the functions and the buttons are just about the same. Here we have open or closed of your operator, or up and down in the menu selection. The middle button is your enter in the menu selection, or to toggle on and off the auto programming features. Your mode selection and your zone selection. On the left here, same thing. Open, close, or up and down the menu selection. The bottom button here is the mode. Top button here is your zone selection, and the button in the middle is your enter when you're in the menu selection, or toggle on and off the auto programming features. The Solar Smart remote can operate any one of 9 zones or all zones at once. Each zone can have 9 operators placed into it. For example, if you want to operate 2 Solar Smart operators at the same time, you can place them in the same zone or use the zone all feature. If you want to operate the Solar Smart motors at different times, you want to make sure they're in different zones. For example, zone 1, slot 1, zone 2, slot 1. You can then operate them independently, selecting either zone 1 or zone 2, or operate them together by selecting zone all on the remote. To begin the pairing sequence on the operator with the latest model with this remote, remove the battery cover, remove the battery, you can leave it plugged in, and use the pairing button located by the battery cover. You can hit it with your pinky. Got a solid red light, and when it begins to blink, you now have 2 minutes to complete the pairing sequence. It seems like that's pretty quick, but it's actually quite a bit of time to do this. To set up the remote for the first time, we're going to place the battery inside, put on the cover, and we have a couple options to begin with. The first one here is Fahrenheit or Celsius. Just push enter to select Fahrenheit, or up to select Celsius. Hit enter. We get M blinking, or we can toggle that to an S. For the most part, we want M for main, and hit enter. And you now have what we call the home screen. You have your zone selection, right now zone all, temperature, and M in the upper corner. Solar Smart can be operated with more than one remote, but you're always going to want to have one main remote and as many secondary remotes as you wish. All the programming and pairing sequence will be done on the main remote, and that information will then be shared to as many secondary remotes as you want. For this example though, for the most part, you're going to have one operator and one remote. We still have a red blinking light. I'm going to long press mode until the screen changes. Pair set will be displayed, paired sequence, and we want to hit setup. And we got zone blinking. At the moment I want to leave it at zone 1, but I can select any zone I wish, up to 9. But I'm going to leave it at 1. And then we have the second number blinking one. That's the ID of the operator in that zone. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that at 1, but that can go up to 9 as well, and enter. We have success displayed. At this point, you got a green light saying the operator is moving, and the chain is going to run all the way out and all the way back in. Okay, the chain ran all the way back in. One thing to note is that by default, the operator is only going to extend the chain 80% of its full length, which for most installations, that is ample for adequate ventilation. Each manufacturer might have a different location for the operator and might need a little extra chain to get your window or skylight open further. And that's just simply a setting on the remote, which we'll go over in a different video. I'm going to go through the pairing sequence using the older remote style, which also has an older operator style. This is not how you typically set up 2 remotes on one operator. You would use the main and secondary programming features of the remotes, but I do want to show the slight difference in procedures pairing the older remote with the older operators. The key to this is to remove all power to the operator to initiate the pairing sequence. This means solar panel, battery, and the wall charger if you have it plugged in. It's not always easy to unplug and plug in the solar panel when it's installed in an actual window or skylight application. The easiest way to make sure the solar panel is not providing power to the operator is to simply cover it up with a shop towel or rag or whatever you have handy with you. And then you simply unplug the battery and plug it back in. You have the solid red light, and when it starts blinking, you have 2 minutes to complete the process. Now, since we just went through the steps with the newer remote, I'm going to show you the shortcut method when you have one operator and one remote with the older remote. First, we push any button to make sure the screen is awake. I'm going to long press mode till the screen changes. I'm just going to hit enter 3 times. 1, 1, 1, 1, success. And it's just that easy pairing one remote to one operator.